All right, welcome back. So today we got another video where we're talking about one of my bigger flaws during my rookie season when it comes to manifestation. And one of my biggest flaws back in the day when I was just a little in the tutorial mode, like a real tutorial mode when it comes to manifestation, one of my biggest flaws was getting out of the state of waiting. I was living in the state of waiting. Again, you manifest whatever your state is, dominant assumption, dominant state, same thing. And I was constantly just waiting for something to change in the 3D. The problem is, if you focus on waiting, if you focus on the 3D, if you focus on all of this, that's all a form of wavering. And this is the most deadly type of wavering, because when it comes to wavering from this perspective, you give yourself the illusion that you are actually making progress because you are thinking about your desire. In reality, you can still think of your desire, or you're thinking about manifesting your desire. I should say that's a better way of putting it, manifesting your desire. You're thinking about manifesting your desire and how to manifest it and when is it going to come. So you give yourself the illusion of progress, and that is a deadly trap. That is a extremely deadly trap because you're wavering, but the wavering is almost like shadow wavering. Like you don't really know it. It's happening in the shadows, but it's still wavering. And then months go by and nothing changes. So today we're going to talk about how you can get out of the state of waiting. Because you have to do this. Basically, you do have to do this. So yeah, let's get into it. Before the video starts, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you do want to have one full month of coaching with me, again, one full month, you don't need to, it's not one email, it's not one phone call, it's one full month of coaching in this group chat. Check out the bottom link in the description down below at school.com. At the bottom link in the description. So check that out if you do want to have one full month of coaching with me. Awesome. Let's get into the video. So the state of waiting. The reason why waiting for your desire and all this stuff is really, really detrimental to your desire being externalized is because your reality is waiting for you to change. I said this in one of my last videos. Your reality is waiting for you to change while you are waiting for your reality to change. But your reality is waiting for you to change. It is an incomplete circle. It's a circle that doesn't connect to itself. You understand? You have to change first. Your reality is waiting on you. So in a weird way, your reality again is just a mirror, which literally what it is just a mirror. And you're waiting, you're in the state of waiting, and your reality is also in a state of waiting. Your reality is waiting at the bus stop right next to you. Like, all right, when are we going to hop on? The bus is right there. When are we going to hop on? And you're like, well, you go first. And your reality is like, no, you go first. And it's like, well, no one's going first then, all right? We're just going to pretend that the bus isn't even there. So, again, you have to change first. You change first, your reality comes after. Everything I teach on this channel is changing you, to the point where I sometimes even disregard some of your circumstances, because again, manifestation is all about changing you, not your 3D reality, because that will come after. That will just naturally happen. You have to change you. And when it comes to waiting, you just change yourself from a person who is not getting their desire to a person who is now waiting on their desire. And again, you manifest your identity. Your identity is a person who is waiting for your desire. So what's going to happen? Well, that will just reflect to the 3D. You'll constantly be like, okay, I'm still waiting for it. Okay, another week goes by, I'm still waiting for it. Another week went by, I'm still waiting for it. Another week went by, I'm still waiting for it. Well, everything you just said right there is an affirmation, because every single thought that you have is an affirmation. And all of these affirmations, I'm waiting, why isn't it here? I'm still waiting, it's been a month. These are all affirmations. Your subconscious mind takes in everything. And it just took a whole bunch of affirmations saying that you don't have it. So you have to get rid of your waiting state. And the way you do that is through the absolute basics. Live in the end, which is Neville Goddard's most popular lecture here on YouTube. It's popular for a reason, because at its core, the core of the law is live in the end, not waiting. Living in the end and waiting are almost the opposite. You can't expect to manifest anything if you're not willing to live in the end. Everything I'm trying to get you to do is basically just live in the end. So you have to live in the end. And you need to not wait. And how do you live in the end? How do you get out of the state of waiting? Well, there's hundreds of ways you can do that. I have 100 videos on this channel to help you. But an easy way to measure if you're still in the state of waiting is when an hour goes by, think about, hey, all these thoughts I had in this last hour, would I still be having these thoughts if the person who already had my desire, would they think like this? Would they think like this? If you had your desire, would you be thinking thoughts that you had in this last hour? If the answer is no, then you are most likely in a state of waiting. If the thoughts that you were having in this last hour is things like, well, why isn't it here yet? I'm still waiting on it. Hopefully it comes by my birthday. Hopefully it comes by Christmas. And all of these thoughts that you're having, you have to ask yourself, would you be having these thoughts if you already had your desire? And if the answer is no, then you need to not think those thoughts, because those thoughts are wavering. Those thoughts are doubt, adversary, and Satan in the Bible. You can't do that. So you can't come to me and be like, hey, it didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. And it's like, that's an affirmation. How many times throughout this last week have you thought, hey, it didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. Those are all affirmations. You need to live in the end. And you having waiting thoughts of like, yeah, I'm waiting for my desire. You're going to constantly only wait on your desire. You have to change first. And realistically, what else do you have to lose? If you're someone who is in really bad, awful circumstances, why not just test out robotic affirmations for the hell of it? Like, why? You got nothing else to lose. Your life already sucks. Just try not waiting. Just try thinking as if, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, then your life already sucks. Like, you understand? I really don't even understand the people who live in that like wavering state almost. It's like, why not just try robotic affirmations? Why not just try for a month to be like, yeah, I'm just going to robotically affirm and repeat in my head, like almost like it's a song. And I'm going to try not to wait. I'm going to be like, no, I already have it. No, I already have it. If some thoughts comes up, no, I already have it. I already have it. I already have it. That's who I am. I already have this. Why not try it out? And if you are someone who is willing to try it out, if you are someone who is in this manifestation community, well, you'll probably get it if you get out of the state of waiting. Again, your reality is waiting on you to change. So please change. Everything I teach on this channel is for you to change into the person, into the identity that already has their desire. If you only transition from a person who doesn't have it to the person who is now waiting for it, then congratulations, you're just going to be a person who manifested more waiting. And you successfully manifested that. Again, you manifest everything in your world. You successfully manifested a person who was waiting. You don't want to be there. I didn't want to be there. I kept asking myself for years, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Why isn't it here? And all these questions are in the waiting period. You have to stop waiting. Jump to the end. Live in the end. Affirm from the end. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to feel it real. You don't do any of that stuff. Just live in the end. Think thoughts from the end. You don't have to believe it at all. Just say the thoughts. I don't care. Just say the thoughts. So yeah, that's my tip for today's video. Get out of the state of waiting. Awesome. If you're having trouble getting out of the state of waiting, you can check out the bottom link in the description down below. Again, if you do want to have coaching with me, again, you get to stay there for a full month. 1 full month, you get to stay there with me. I can talk to you about your circumstances, about your manifestation journey and everything. 1 full month. Check out the bottom link in the description at school.com for that if you do want to have coaching with me. Outside of that, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, bye.